Hi, we are students of the Tecnologico in Monterrey, and we are excited to present this topic. Our topic that we chose because it's very interesting is the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, ISIS, and how human rights are being affected by this. Our team members are Guillermo Pulido, Carla Resendiz, Rodrigo Sosa, Emiliano Salgado, and Evan Stato.
So what is the issue? So the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria was originated in 1999. It is a terrorist group that offered to pledge alliance to Al-Qaeda, but caused the independization in 2016. The purpose of this terrorist group is to reconquer Turin and establish a new religion based on the Islamic State and the supreme leader, whom is believed to be the successor of Muhammad.
After al-Baghdadi's death in 2019, Abu Ibrahim al-Hashimi al-Qurashi is the new and current leader of ISIS. This organization wields great power over Syria and Iraq regarding not only land but also slaves. In 2015, there were approximately 3,500 people held as slaves, said the United Nations. This slave work spans across 34,000 square miles of territory controlled by ISIS, not only in Syria but also in Iraq, although it is believed by the United States that they have lost roughly 40% of that land and power. ISIS achieves such power in many ways, such as making money in illegal ways, such as robbing and terrorist or acts, and capturing towns to gain more soldiers, or simply kidnapping 140 Kurdish schoolboys to train them to become soldiers and have more manpower.
However, also the governments of the world have something related of this topic. Since 2014, the United States have tried to control the Middle East situation, first diplomatically, then militarily. According to ex-president of the United States, Barack Obama, the only way of defeating El is to expel al-Assad from power in order to, I'm quoting, let a new leader come through and help the Syrian population fight against terrorist groups. The international actors of this conflict divided into enemies of Bashar al-Assad, that is the current Syrian president, and allies of Bashar al-Assad. On the enemy side, we have the United States that has been sending troops, which has led to several armed conflicts. In addition to soldiers being sent in the US, soldiers by the US, the first attack was on April 7, 2017, where a missile strike was sent to the Shirak Air Base. Also, we have Saudi Arabia, that also opposes to al-Assad government for various reasons. First, Saudi Arabia and Syria have been mortal enemies since the beginning of time. Although they have refused to accept, they have been helping for the rebel cause. Multi-militaries have sent donations to this group in order to have fundings. Also, they have sent volunteers to the US coalition that has people from Qatar, Jordania, Bahrain, and the United Arab Emirates, all on similar terms than Saudi Arabia.
Here we can see American soldiers fighting in Syria. This goes to show that the United States is indeed acting upon and influencing the issue with ISIS.
Now we have the allies of Bashar al-Assad. The unexpected arrival of Russia to the conflict suggested Russia was in two sides of the same war, helping the US coalition and attacking the same terrorists as the USA. However, Russian forces have also been in al-Assad's side, targeting rebels that oppose him, leaving a breach of the real Russian side. Russia has been before the conflict since 2013 an ally of Bashar al-Assad's government. Syria is one of the main Russian weapon buyers, making it a very important ally for Russia. Also, Russia has control of the Tartus naval base. It isn't a very big naval base, but it's the only connection Russia has to the Mediterranean Sea, making it a very strategic point. Also, Iran is an ally to consider in these events. According to the BBC, Iran has been an historic ally of al-Assad's government. supplying weapons and, military financial weapons and military and financial aid. For Iran, al-Assad is fundamental for the stop of their greatest enemy of the region, Saudi Arabia.
Now that we have talked more about the problem, let's talk about the causes. The main question is always, what do they want? What are the resources that they require? Well, the ISIS group founded by Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, an Iraqi, emerged out of Qaeda in Iraq because of the USA invasion in 2003, and it's the result of Qaeda in 2014. This group quickly took control of big parts of Iraq and Syria, and they declared the creation of the concept caliphate, which means Muslim ruler. And the goal is to impose a strict Islamic rule, and they are very conservative, and they want to enforce the Islamic law or Sharia.
So, what is the most important events in this conflict? The Muslim group has had many historical events, such as when leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi announced the emergence of ISIS in April 2013 in Syria, forming the Islamic State in Levant and Iraq. In January 2013, the Caliphate forces overrun the city of Fallujah, located in Iran western side, and some parts of the capital of Ramadi. In June 2013, ISIS captured Mosul, which is the second largest city in Iraq. In June 29, 2013, the group names itself the Islamic State and creates a self-styled caliphate. In July 4, 2013, the caliphate makes its first public appearance to make Muslims swear allegiance. In May 24, 2014, Jewish Museum was attacked. In November 15, 2015, ISIS struck Europe, and in March 22, 2016, Brussels bombings.
This conflict has been in part of the world during a long time until now. The international military intervention against ISIS has been present since 2014. ISIS has a huge impact that is negative to the world, and a clear example are the terrorist attacks in Paris. Thousands of civilians were executed in Iraq and Syria, and many other terrorist attacks have been passing all over the world. There have been many international interventions, like the Turkish, who joined the US-led, and the Russian one, who helped kill more than 600 terrorists in 2015, and also the Iranian by sending several aircraft to Iraq.
There have been many attempts to resolve the conflict, uh, principally using the legal argument of intervention by invitation, which has been used by 11 states, led by the US-led coalition, which includes Russia and Iran. Egypt has also intervened in this conflict by conducting airstrikes in Libya, Russia and Iran for their intervention in Syria. There have been military operations undertaken by not getting terrorist groups as targets. That was the justification of Russia after the airstrikes on Syrian moderate opposition. Then, in 2015, Syria denounced these airstrikes as violation of its sovereignty, and since then, ISIS have been acting underground, without being the center of attention of the worldwide newspapers. The countries involved in these attempts of airstrikes were inside the US-led coalition, which this includes USA, Russia, and Iran for the intervention in Syria. We can also add Egypt because of the airstrikes commanded by Russia. Egypt conducted these airstrikes, so we can add Egypt as one of the international actors of this conflict. In this image, we can see Russian soldiers in the Syrian port of Tartus.
So, what could be done to solve the conflict now? ISIS has been active for about 20 years, and the peace offers made amongst nations have been constantly declined. This conflict can hardly be solved because the only country or organization involved it is ISIS. The attempt of restitution and implementation of a new religion, constant citizen attacks have constantly violated human rights. The only solution would be dissolving ISIS, and possibly the only way to do this is to apply the use of military force.
Thank you for your attention. With this, our only objective is to inform and maintain people aware of what is happening around the world with human rights. We wanted to show how human rights are being abused and affected by wars and other interests that are apparently more important than human lives for these people. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.